You dropped out of civil engineering. You shared about your divorce, your trauma, your refuge at the art of living, coming back. How does that really shape you?
I was obviously shattered because I did not complete anything. I did not complete my engineering, I did not complete my job and also my marriage. That kind of gave a very different feeling for a few years that I am a failure and nothing can really work with me. There was depression, there was suicide tendencies, there were a lot of things. But thankfully, because I had a daughter, things were much better because just by looking at her, there was a lot of motivation, there was a lot of life that came into me saying, it's okay and I can still move forward. It's not the end of everything. One thing that was always there, my ethics and my hard work and a lot of love. When you add that to anything that you do, I think it makes a lot of difference.
Today we have a very special guest with us. Someone who has been in the media industry for almost a decade. Creative editor for an international publication house to serving best sourdough pizza in Bangalore and eating love. Her journey has been from Kolkata to Mysore to art of living to Chennai's media world and now feeding Bangalore with love. A single mother who has gone through transformation personal life, changing it into a creative pursuit in food. Niharika, welcome to Kompass Connect.
Thank you.
So nice to have you here today.
Yeah, lovely to be around as well.
So you ran a prestigious magazine publication house, you're part of that, and now you are running a pizzeria. And you also shared with us, Niharika, that once a parent thanked you many times to be able to give or provide a gluten-free pizza to their son, and that's one of the trigger moment for your journey. If you have to compare that to any accolade which you have got in the media world, how would you see that?
I think whether it's media world or whatever I'm doing now, serving food, one thing that was always there was my ethics and my hard work and a lot of love. So when you add that to anything that you do, I think it makes a lot of difference
Right.
to people around you. And there's a lot of sense of satisfaction when when you keep these three things intact. And what happens is in food industry especially, when people are satisfied, when they're happy, and when they leave the place with a smile,
Right.
that definitely is it's just amazing feeling which I think we cannot describe. I mean, at home, mom cooks and grandparents cook, and we don't even think of thanking them, or we love the food, we cannot forget that food, we want to get back to those roots, but the main essence is love. So which I think I feel very good, that I feel loved, I feel that whatever contribution or whatever effort that has gone into it is worth it when they smile.
Wow, so true. So Niharika, you dropped out of civil engineering.
Yes.
MTV wanted you, right?
Yes.
And but looks like life took you through a profound personal storms. You shared about your divorce, your trauma, your refuge at the art of living, coming back. How did these early storms in your life have really shaped you to who you are now? What are you becoming? How does that really shape you?
So when all of that was happening, I was obviously shattered and I had no control on my mind. I did not know what was happening, and I felt that everything that I did in my life has been a failure because I did not complete anything. I did not complete my engineering. I did not complete my job and also my marriage. So everything was incomplete. So that kind of gave a lot of a very different feeling for a few years, that I am a failure and nothing can really work with me. and this is it. This is how my life is. So there was depression, there was suicidal tendencies, there were a lot of things. But thankfully, because I had a daughter, things were much better, because she had given me a lot of support, though she was very young. Just by looking at her, there was a lot of motivation, there was a lot of life that came into me saying, okay, we can, it's okay, and I can still move forward. It's not the end of everything. But what that has done to me right now is somehow there is a settlement inside that what was can happen more than this. So that kind of does not shake me at all anymore. And yes, a lot of the art of living and people around, my parents around, everybody contributed a lot for me to be to come back the way I live my life today. And it's been, yes, it's crazy. It was absolutely crazy. If I go back and think, how did I survive? But then I smile today. So
Yeah.
thinking about it.
And just anybody meeting you at this phase, Niharika, you smile so much. You just have full of laughter. There's so much stuff going on. I think to your point about you are lucky to have that kind of ecosystem around you, just the people, right, starting right from your daughter to your parents and other people who have supported you. That means a lot. And I think that's what life is. That's what I think the investment in terms of human beings around us really makes a difference when it reels.
Yes, so that way it was very fortunate that okay, one part of it didn't like work, but there were other ways which I probably didn't see then. But
Correct.
Now when I look back, it just feels amazing that how did all of that fall in place actually.
Yeah.
There was no need to worry, there was no need to get stressed, there was no need to get depressed at all. I just had to go through it.
Correct.
But I understand that only now, but not then.
Actually, you brought a very interesting point, because there's something which I also reflect a lot and I observe it. It's very easy on the hindsight to be able to put things in context. And but yeah, once it's happening at that point of time, it's hell. But end of the day, I think that anybody who's going through that time, if in case there is something called you can learn from other people's stuff and make it a practice, is about being able to how you are able to look at it. Yeah. Right? Just the little pause can just change the whole perspective. So that's really, really great. So how did your and this is the phase you have a daughter, and this is really heartening to hear that your daughter was a source of inspiration. But I'm also curious, as I understand, that was also a phase where you really shifted into this career on the creative side of the world, and you were shuttling, literally physically shuttling between cities and moving around with the young daughter. How did you manage to do all that? And that's also a peak of a lot of work you did there. How did you manage to do that?
So that's why I mentioned my parents were of great help. So what happened was, why I say that she inspired me when so there was a situation where I had to leave the house because I was beaten up brutally and I was bleeding. And that was the time when I actually decided to leave the house. And she was just 1.5 years old then. And she just, when the father said that, no, she's not coming with you, you can go wherever you want. And at that time, she just had this small palm of hers on his face saying, I don't want to be with you, in English. I'm going with Mama. At like 4 a.m. in the morning. And no kid can do that. That gave me so much energy. That gave me so much courage to come out and, to be able to recover from whatever I went through. Yeah.
Thanks for sharing. I just hope nobody goes through that journey, but
absolutely not.
But thanks. I mean, it takes a lot of courage for you to even share this out openly, and I'm so glad that they gave you the lease of life which you're looking for, and really good to have you here today. So moving from you went to during this phase, I think you found a kind of a solace or a find peace in Art of Living
Yes.
Center. and from there you moved to Romania.
Correct.
Right, and that was how was that journey? Because change of place, change of context does kind of impact you differently for sure. But what happened for you when you moved to Romania?
So the only concern when I was leaving home and when all the disturbances were going on, that I did not want to trouble my parents and stay there and do. But it so happened that I happened to talk to Shri Ravi Shankar at the ashram, and he just told me one line, he just said, enough is enough, come and stay here with us. So I stayed at the ashram with my daughter for about 4 years, and that's when I think the healing happened. That's when the recovery happened. That's when the maturity of understanding events of life, maturity of understanding how we move forward happened. And yes, it was amazing. There, everybody was so supportive, and they helped me in every way, from my daughter's school to the food and work as well. They made sure that I was working at the ashram in the right space. So I was at the Art of Living Communication space, and I was handling a lot of PR events and all of that, and a lot of media again over there. And that's when I also realized that I could do a lot of things. I identified that I could write very well. Yeah. And then I identified that I could also communicate very well. So all those things came up during that journey. And what happened when at the Art of Living, when you're a teacher, when you're a good teacher, they send you to different countries to teach.
Right.
So I was also sent to Romania to take courses. So I was there for 3 months, and over there it was like there were hardly any volunteers, there were hardly any teachers there, because it's a new space and you are new. And if you say that you don't, even if you ask very casually, you do not know English, they get offended, all the Romanians. So I didn't know how to start and how to tell people to come to the course. So then I figured going to tea houses, and there was one lady in one tea house. She was a tea house named Serendipity in Bucharest, and she was just fantastic, Alexandra, and she gave me a place to organize small introductory sessions in her tea house. And that's how I started there, talking to people about the course, about how it will benefit and all of that. And yes, after that, the higher level course, there's another teacher for who I thought I would organize for her. And when I did that, even then I actually cooked for 30 people in a strange hotel, which I like, because I was scared that they'll probably mix the non-vegetarian stock in it and all of that. And when you're meditating, it's not a good idea that you have non-vegetarian or caffeine or all of that. So it was near the beach, the hotel, and I did not know the language, but I always had a book with me where I added one word and the second word and the third word. Yes. And the lady who I was staying also did not know a word of English. To her also I would speak with the book, and I would help her put her clothes to dry. I would help her to cook. I mean, it was like home to wherever I went and stayed. It was all strange houses it was not a hotel. They don't give you a hotel to stay, and it's not that system at all, where devotees, they were not devotees, but they were somewhere connected to some other Art of Living people. And that really was very nice, because this old lady was so adorable, and she would make sure that I walk with her every day, no matter what. So I would walk with her every day, and then she would come back and dry the clothes, and I would do everything. And if I had to communicate, I would open the book and tell her, this is
raw experience.
Yeah, absolute raw experience. And the advanced course that I organized also went amazing, because that was the first time ever that happened in Bucharest. And that was much more easier for everybody to have good, healthy, nice food, because I cooked very happily for all the 30 people, and it was fun.
Did you add a local flavor to it? How did you manage the balance of the?
Yes, I
Local
had
taste.
to add the local flavor. I cannot put garam masala into the potatoes. But yes, I had to understand. And I also spoke to them before they were in silence. They'll be
Right.
also in silence. So they cannot really ask you what they want. So I spoke to them that what would they like, what kind of food they usually like, and all of that. And the soups, all of that were usually the European kind, where there was a lot of oregano in it, rosemary in it, a lot of rosemary in it. So yes, I managed to make some interesting food for all 3 meals, like breakfast. And I also made interesting tea, because they always liked having a lot of tea, and very good tea that you get in Bucharest. So yes, that was absolute amazing experience. And I would take the flyers, go walk 10 kilometers and keep giving the flyers also. So like that, it was fun.
Awesome. So think about, like, your food part of the stuff seems to be so clear. I mean, when you express it out, it just comes across so naturally. But whatever else was happening to your life, it's not everybody's cup of tea just to be able to organize, especially when you are, forget about people. I mean, within your own household also, if you don't have it, it's so difficult to arrange food for people or for yourself. But looks like you were just doing it with so much of ease. So was there any background to your kind of learning about food, interest, experience?
There was no learning, like, because at my own house, I was never asked to cook or even like pick up a glass. I was brought up very, it was a very progressive family and upbringing and all of that. And they never treated me and my brother like 2 different genders at all. And my father was very good with taking me everywhere. So he used to take me to vegetable markets, he used to take me to the flower markets, and whatever he would do, he had the skill of doing the carpentry at home. He had the skill of doing everything, even the Diwali, the Diwali crackers at home.
Oh, really?
So yes, and he would, even our books were very beautifully stitched so that papers don't come out. So all of this, when I used to see him, so what I understood is that he had a lot of precision in whatever he did, and he wouldn't leave any loose edge at all. That I definitely picked it up from my father. And my mother was also, is also a very good cook. So is my father. My father loved cooking, and he used to make our school lunch boxes, not my mother. So we were very used to the whole atmosphere of good food.
Appreciating
at
food,
home.
have good food. Good. Yeah.
But the house that I actually ran away and got married to, it was again a shock, a cultural shock, and also a lot of people. It was a joint family, and I did not know how to make rotis, and rotis were supposed to be round, and then you get a hit on your head from the mother-in-law saying like, you should learn in a day how to make round rotis. Now, how do I do that? I had no idea. Obviously, I cut it with the dabba box and the box head.
Yeah.
For a few weeks, I managed it like that, but later I learned how to make. And there was a lot of me being a Brahmin. There was never meat cooked at home, and the meat used to come there, and you clean it. And then cooking payas all overnight. So I used to stand and cook payas all over the night until it gets that kind of texture. And yes, over there also there were a lot of praises of my cooking and food, but there was never a learning or interest or anything. But what I always did was 100% attention and the flavors to be intact. So I never, played with different flavors in a very opposite ways at all. I just kept the flavors in
So, in a very natural sense of balance and
Correct.
attention to detail, and of course, creativity is all over the place.
Yeah, creativity, yes. But it's not, the creativity is not like I'll have 5 wheels in a car, but then yes.
It has to
was-
serve the purpose.
yeah.
So, Niharika, after you joined Arts Illustrated in
Yes.
Bangalore, and it looks like you did an incredible job there. You have some of the artifacts which are really up there from a standard perspective, is what we know about. Can you just share a little bit more about it? What's the kind of stuff which really gave you the high in that place?
The whole experience of being in Arts Illustrated was high itself.
Yeah.
I think loved every second of it, every minute of it, because there was so much freedom and so much creativity. I had a very good team there, and I had a friend who was also a journalist, who was a genius, I would say, and he being there with me and the whole team, I think we did some fantastic work to do with any publication, I would say, ever published in the country.
Really?
Yes. The questions were original, the answers were original, people we interviewed were original, the events that we covered, the studio visits that I did with different artists, so the studio visit was my column. So that was the most popular column, and the experience that I wrote, the understanding of art itself from their art, all of that was amazing. Because I did not study, again, I did not study art, I did not study architecture or cinema that way, but I had a good team, and also my vision was to, keep it absolutely stunning in terms of design. For me, design always mattered a lot in whatever I did, and I also chose a few people who are very, very good with their fonts and with their margins and all of that. So I picked the right team, I picked the right table. I mean, I used to go to the printer's place. I used to approve at the printer all night, every page. Only after that they were allowed to. So that kind of precision was there in printing Arts Illustrated. And also something else that I did with Arts Illustrated was so every issue used to be based on one theme, for example.
Okay.
And I would ask an artist to design the cover. So though that became a big difference in the entire art community and the architecture community. The architects would design the cover. When I did the LGBTQ issue, then Vikram Seth did the cover, and it wasn't easy to actually convince them to do the cover for free.
Oh, okay. On top of it,
Yes.
you also laid it with.
Because boss, obviously, all bosses are the same. They don't, give you money. You somehow have to do some kind of jugaad to get things going the way you want it, the way you are looking at it.
Right.
So yes, I mean, that journey was 5 years, and I think I traveled to so many places. I used to travel to Bombay and Delhi often, because the Indian Art Fair used to be in Delhi, and the Kochi Muzris Biennale used to happen in Kerala, and Bombay had a lot of exhibitions as well. So like that, every place that I used to visit, the studios. And one was something amazing, I think no other publication did, was we did augmented reality on the cover.
Okay.
Where?
What is that?
So I went with...
This is which year?
Year I don't remember. But I can tell you.
2000, late 2000.
2000, I think, when there were a lot of, when there was a cyclone in
Oh, okay, 2000.
Chennai, that
13,
was
yeah.
9, 10, 11. I think it was 2010.
Okay.
Yeah. So there's an amazing performance artist called Nikhil Chopra who lives in Goa right now.
Okay.
And this was, the whole issue was dedicated to the performance art.
Okay.
And so I wanted the performance to come out on the cover as augmented reality.
Wow,
So
that's a bold
yes,
dream.
so that was something amazing. So we did the V-pop, scanner, and then we went to Goa. We shot his performance only exclusively for our cover, and we had the picture of the transformation from a man to woman that he did for us. Front was the man, and behind on the last page was him being a woman. And he also does the painting on the wall while performing. So that's
Really?
So that's his specialty.
That is specialty.
And we shot this whole thing. And anywhere, anybody would keep the magazine, everything else is intact, but the video is playing on the cover. So it was absolutely fun. And it was so good, yes.
So where is this artifact like to see?
I didn't bring one.
Okay, but you have it. We can always.
Yes, I have the video, and I also have the magazine.
I'm
get
just
that,
looking
yes.
at my creative team to see like this. The whole thing about creativity, inspiration is just amazing. There's so many stories which you never heard, and this is the first time I'm hearing this concept and seeing it live.
Yeah, there was this one magazine, Esquire magazine, which is not Indian magazine. They had done it once. So I thought, okay, we should do it here as well. And some of the copies were also kept in National Gallery in London as well. Yes, for a long time, I think it's still there. And a lot of appreciation from London and different other museums. A lot of places, yes.
So Niharika, this is amazing. Like, this is total contrast to a life which you were before some time back, and just listening to you, your stories, what you did, your body language, everything seems to be that it was a great place of high for you. Yes. It gave you something. And that's something very powerful, interesting, that if you find your place in terms of what you are good at it naturally, and you just, if you have the environment, everything around you, you just flourish. And you're doing all that, and that, like any other journey, this journey apparently also came to us. And you quit all of this and moved on. What happened?
What happened was the usual conflict that every, organization has between the creative people and the finance people, where there was a very unreasonable query and questions which I felt were very disrespectful. And after contributing so much and after bringing so much such amazing work, I wasn't expecting that. And for me, that was a no-no, and I just felt that it's time to end it.
Yeah. So looks like you have, whatever happened, whether it is high, low, but look, one thing has been very consistent is about you holding your position of values and systems in place.
Values, ethics, and doing absolutely something which is stunning. There's no way that I would execute something which is mediocre. I hate that the whole expression of doing something that it's okay, we can manage with this. Yes.
Wow. I can vouch for it, reflecting what you have built or you are doing now. Coming to your journey around the same time, looks like this whole intimate word love is all around your life.
Yes.
in so many ways. But at that moment, you also shared that it was about someone was waiting for you for long, and your husband today, you kind of you guys
remarried
married again. So what was that about? How was that?
That was again, there were so everything that I did, there was always a conflict within myself. It was not about right or wrong. It was more about how simple, easy, or how complicated can the next years be. So with that conflict, it was very difficult for me to say yes to anybody, no matter how good they are or how efficient they are. My mother she really wanted to see me settled.
Settle and start.
And also she felt that my daughter probably will also need some kind of, it'll be nice for her to get support. But then, yes, with a lot of conflict, yes, I said yes. With a lot of confusion and also not being sure how this will work out, because for a new person to accept people as they are isn't very easy. And all three of us are, I would say, we're large XL and double XL atom bombs. And for any man to be staying with us wouldn't be easy. So that definitely I was not sure about. Yes.
You see it more often in this part of the world, especially you have aspiration, but then there is this whole roots of balancing this with your family and especially with parents. So somewhere, you do run through your challenges and figuring it out, take a decision. But yeah, it is what it is. So, hope the journey has been great.
I think that way every decision is very complicated for me because I have to take a lot of things into consideration. It's just not like I say yes or I say no, but it's...
The reason I kind of observed or shared that in your story, the way I see love is just so many perspective of love is just amazing. I think this also brought you to Bangalore.
Yes.
Again, this is like almost interval and starting, second half of the movie where you are literally, you left all that high stuff, you married, you come to Bangalore with no career plans.
No career plans, yes.
Again, blank slate. And
yeah, I mean, I thought I probably can take just a job where I can edit content.
But just more like an extension to what you're doing, but not very clear about what.
Absolutely.
And then you shared, you discovered your love in pizza. And most of this romanticized idea of opening a restaurant, you shared that it's like you'll have your own pizza and you'll eat the pizza, most of the time. I'm seeing you slogging in the kitchen. I don't know how true that really was, how happy you really, were in terms of getting time to eat the pizza. Share a little bit about that part. How did you really brought that dream to reality?
So it was not a plan or dream or anything at all. I was so frustrated staying at home for a year where I was broke. I was also not happy doing nothing. And I was ready to just even sell breads. So the idea actually started first with bread. But then I realized just with bread, I may not be making so much money to, give the rent and all of that. And I was not sure. And then I had a friend who is an Italian chef in Chennai, who I worked with him earlier. He makes all these brick ovens in Radisson Blu and other 5-star hotels. So I spoke to him. He said, yeah, it's a great idea. And I personally love pizzas a lot. Wherever I traveled, in whichever place I traveled, the first preference to eat has always been a pizza.
Okay.
And also there are very different stories, personal stories abroad with pizzas where magically things just fell in place where I didn't know what I'm supposed to eat and it just came to me. So I feel that there is some karmic connection with pizza. But otherwise, it was a very intense relationship with what I wanted to give. So first I went to all the places that were there in Bangalore, what they were serving, how they were serving and what were the combinations and what were the recipes and what were the names and all of that. And then after learning and taking training from an Italian chef and a French chef from Pondicherry, they said, we have told you whatever basics you need to learn and now it's your way how you would figure it out.
Wow. And this is how long a period where you were involved in learning and training?
That was about 3-4 months.
Okay.
Yeah. And then because I named it Eating Love, I also started it on Valentine's Day on February 14th. Yeah, I know it's very
Cliche.
yeah, very cheesy. Yes. But then I thought it's worth keeping it in our memory to start it on
Seriously,
Valentine's Day.
I thought that will be the big question of today's eating love. Okay.
Why Eating Love is because I serve, like you said, there's a lot of love. Yes, that's, I think, my core strength.
Correct.
That I love people, I love to feed people, I also love to be around and serve. All of that is something that I really enjoy.
Absolutely.
And so I thought when people come and eat at a space where I'm serving, so it should be Eating Love. So that's how the name popped up as well. But at the same time, so coming back to the training part, they actually taught me making all of this with maida and also with yeast. And then the next
Maida
step
is your regular
was
flour.
maida is the zero flour.
Zero flour, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the zero
yeah.
flour. And then I wasn't very happy to actually give people zero flour because Indians were not meant to eat anything that was made out of zero flour. Indians were meant to have wheat flour because that's our origin of our own grain. This came from another space, another I would say territory. So I felt that this is not what I should do, and I also felt in vegetarian space,
Right.
the exotic vegetables were not used. So I felt the artichokes, the asparagus, and the kale and arugula, all of this that were not part
The
of
maximum was broccoli, I guess.
yeah, broccoli, and all of this were not used on pizzas those days at all. So I figured what was not there
Correct.
and what was already there, and how do I make my way to my identity of my product. So that's when there was a lot of thought, my vendors, what kind of cheese that I buy, from where. So I was very clear that it should not trouble anyone's stomach for sure. So that's why I made sure everything was given absolutely fresh. We don't overcook anything. Most of our vegetables are like blanched, and our cooking time is very less, hardly any cooking at all, just 2-3 ingredients. But what I did was, I felt that the 3 ingredients in a pizza, in a Neapolitan pizza, are important. Is the dough,
Right.
the sauce, and the cheese. So I kept that original and intact. And later, I played with the ingredients that are not available, and also the spices, because I belong to Andhra. Somehow there was a lot of cultural influence as well, where I picked up gongura. I put gongura on my pizza because you don't get watercress here in India, and watercress is tangy, and I wanted a replacement, so I combined it with burnt garlic. So that kind of I would say combinations and innovation I actually worked, and I think each pizza took a lot of time.
Right.
The first one, I would say, was so bad. If I look at it, those days people would like it even then, but when I look at it now, I feel, oh my god, how did I do that
Indeed.
horrible pizza? But then that, it's how you learn.
Correct. Absolutely.
And my best feedback were my customers.
Absolutely. Anytime.
Anything that I would make new, first bite would go to them. They'll give me feedback that this is missing, this is probably, and this is not the right thing, it's falling apart, or this feels high on flavor. So that helped me put all the pizza recipes together and balance the flavors very well. And that entire journey of fixing my dough and fixing my recipes took about 3 years.
Wow.
Because the dough, there was a lot of combinations that I had to use because I wasn't happy with what was there in the market, and I wanted my own innovation to be there.
That's your IP.
Yes. Yes. And I cannot tell, the day I just figured that out, I just jumped in joy, because that was something mind-blowing idea that I put it together. I cannot share that here, but
Absolutely,
yes.
I don't expect. But that's very interesting. I mean, I would have never thought in terms. So I come from the tech side of the world and understand this whole thing about tech innovation, IP. But hearing it out the way you are explaining, I mean, this is the same. It's just the whole thing about what was it when you say that you just fixed it. It is how did you how do you know that you fixed it? What is that? Is it the texture? Is it the taste? Is it your feeling about it?
I would say all of it together. So I decided to add extra water, hydration to it, because a lot of people cannot add a lot of water because they cannot handle the dough.
Correct.
And what was missing in 00 flour was fiber. And but if I use the whole grain, the whole wheat of India, it wouldn't fall right.
Right.
So I had to find a solution to bring all of this together.
Okay.
And
cracked it.
Yes.
Not going to any labs or anything, just experimentation.
Just experimenting, because I mean, how would I go to a lab and say this is what I want, and how would I actually figure that out? Because I have to taste it, I have to see how long, how many hours it's actually taking, whether it's breaking, the gluten is intact or not, all of that.
Yeah.
How the cornichon is coming out, how people are feeling after eating it, all of that.
I mean, people do go to lab. I mean, I have seen many of the food stories where people have taken, and for them, that's the claim to fame that, we took it to the lab and then refined the batter or whatever, and then that's the version. But this is great, all yourself doing all this. So okay, so your dough is your holy grail, like that is
Absolutely, yes.
Okay, so I am assuming, but beyond that, it's okay. Like after that, anybody can understand and see your process of what happens to pizza making.
We don't show our dough making to anyone.
Yeah, not the dough making.
But otherwise, everything else is very transparent. So that's why we have a kitchen that's open.
Right.
The idea is to communicate that we are honest and transparent.
Absolutely.
So everything that I do, I want it to be very simple, honest and transparent. Absolutely nothing to hide or nothing to betray, nothing to do anything at all.
Okay, so if I just keep your dough secret intact and I want to walk into your restaurant and make pizza with you, is that something which will be okay with you?
Absolutely, yes.
Okay, so let us
a lot of people
book a
like
time.
doing it. Yes,
just
yes.
love to do that. So
should,
that will
yes.
be really a great experience. Looking forward to it.
Yes, handling the dough and touching it you will feel the difference in our dough.
I can't wait to touch that secret dough. Okay, that's really great. So looks like one thing, Niharika, I'm seeing, which I'm able to observe as a consistent pattern in your story. Another thing is that you are moving into new journeys, but once you have something with you, I think you're immediately focused, attention to detail, all in it is just being a standard thing.
Yes, yes.
So and there are, especially at this phase of the life and career, when so many people are into this whole thing about undecisions. They have some undesired need, they want to have do something about it. Could be in the creative space or anything else, but most of people stay in that phase where they don't know how to start. If you have to share something out there, what, based on your journey, what has really worked for you in all of and these are all different scenarios, these are different kind of work, but there is a central theme here I'm seeing. Is that something which you want to share?
I would say consistency plays a huge role in everything that you do, because in life there are different situations. Not that things have stopped being challenging, I'm not struggling, or I don't have sadness, or I don't have sorrow, or something's not wrong, everything is smooth and everything's great. It never happens that way. So first step, I would say that the clarity of understanding yourself about what is it that you want. That is, I think, the first step. And second step is working on what you want. Being consistent and focused no matter what other things are
happening in your life.
There'll be so many things. Something could go wrong with your child or parents or wife or anybody. But then the focus should be on your product consistently. That time and that focus has to be there. Otherwise, it falls apart, because everything is related, I think, connected to your state of mind.
Correct.
Especially cooking. If you're happy, and then that's reflected in the food. I know in our cultural books and religious books, there are a lot of stories explaining the same thing, that whatever is there in your mind is what is reflected in what you eat. So they also say, Jaisa an vaisa man also. So my core execution is that the food has to be cooked happy. That's why I keep my staff very happy. I keep giving them good salary. I take them for parties. I do whatever, give comfortable accommodation, so that they also don't leave and go. And at the same time, they're also very focused in executing my vision. And even if I know that they follow my instructions, I still have to be there watching everything. That is something very, very essential. You cannot trust anyone, just leave things loose and say, oh, things are going great, and then suddenly one day you realize what happened and the numbers are not matching, and then the ingredients are different and the recipes have been changed and there are no sales, and then you are completely drowned.
Wow. So you sound like a dream employer to any business, but my antenna of a business, this thing, are you making profit?
Right now, yes. 7 years of struggling and being so frustrated of not getting salary, not having money, and thinking, why did I decide to get into food business, was, I think, there every day. But when you start making money, you really enjoy it, right, for sure. But it's a phase.
That's an outcome.
That's. And for that, there are a lot of things that I think in the food business someone has to take care, where they watch it every single day.
Right.
Even if it's a small space or big space.
It's a tough one.
Innovation has to be there. Quality has to be there. Then obviously your love for the customers who come to eat your food, they're very precious. That feeling of honor should be there. That if the customer is there, the business is there.
Absolutely. Yes, so, this is a fundamental thing. Yeah, and I think, every time I have walked in, I've always seen you happy and smiling, and no wonder the pizza has all landed very well. But I'll keep that in mind. The day Niharika is not in a good mood, I'm not going to order. Right? So that's very clear to me.
No, sometimes I'm in a very bad mood. I enter the kitchen scolding the entire staff.
That's for the staff. Okay.
Yeah. But when I take the pan, I have to drop it.
Okay.
Because it is impossible for me to be angry and frustrated and scolding somebody in my head and then make food like that and serve it to someone. Something that I would never like to do.
So Niharika, this is something most of the people struggle with. It's easy said than done. Intellectually, I understand this part, but is there anything specific to maintain this so-called state of mind you do? Is there a practice, something which you do more apart from what you do in terms of just making pizzas, which keeps you grounded for this kind of mindset?
Obviously, it's definitely meditation.
Okay.
Being part of the art of living, what I understood is the ultimate goal of life is to meditate and stay at peace. That's the ultimate goal, is what I understand. There's no point. There were instances where I was very impulsive, where I have spoilt relationships with lovely people because of my anger and stress that I had, and I didn't know how to cope up with that. But then as a practice, when I do meditate every day, I have slowly evolved into a state. It's not that it will happen overnight.
Correct,
it takes
correct,
time.
correct.
And as you go and keep cleansing yourself for the workshops of the meditation workshops or the other workshops that are there, what it does is the knowledge part that brings a lot of awareness of, do you really want to communicate this way to the other person? And what is the level, what is the grade? All of that is a journey again where you yourself realize that and then bring that into practice. Like, this is not how I want to maintain my relationships. This is not how I want to serve people. This is not how I want to treat my family. Right. So that is definitely one thing that keeps you grounded. Making it very clear what you do not wish to do.
Right.
And the second thing is, obviously, to keep up that, you need to maintain your energy, where you have to keep meditating every day. 20 minutes of meditating every day is absolutely essential.
It's your routine?
Absolutely. For me, it's twice a day. But I would say everyone should meditate at least for 20 minutes every single day for whatever they're doing.
Wow.
Because otherwise the balance is lost, and when the balance is lost, you regret, and then you're depressed, and then you take so much time to come back. How soon you come back is when you realize that you are evolved.
Wow, it's so heartening to hear this, Niharika. I mean, especially, as I said, intellectually we keep hearing it. There's so much of information out there, all this we hear it, but sitting with you, hearing it, and this, everything is about validation of your own life. I think that's the best way you learn.
Yeah.
And just whatever journey we have just transitioned so far, from being in that state of mind even to the extreme of suicide, to today talking about it, that you are meditating, and this schedule, like, I mean, running a restaurant is like crazy schedule.
Yeah.
That's a practice which you have to be able to build, and I think definitely without any thinking, something makes a lot of sense to be able to center yourself and be that. So really amazing. Hats off to you.
Thank you. Yes. Keeping you the most important is, I think, the best thing that you could do it to yourself.
It's interesting that you say that, but once you say it aloud, that this is what I really don't want and really mean it, once you make that so clear to yourself, I think there is the perspective and the transformation which happens, and that's very good advice to start with. So I'm sure a lot of people in this phase struggle with that, especially when things have taken a direction, family, career, some kind of stuff, and then you have this phase where you know where to go next. And I think this is meditation or any form of practice which centers you, but having a routine habit is something very, very advisable. So thanks for sharing it.
Pleasure.
So Niharika, as you also shared that the 7-year was not just so smooth, there was within this also there is a subsection story. It seems that your restaurant was almost drowned?
Yes, so the first one that I opened was on Sarjapur Road, and there was a lot of struggle. Those 7 years were crazy. Even if the space was small, even if I was doing everything right, even if the taste was great, even if there were so many customers who would praise and have so much goodwill, trust. We did very well during COVID as well. But it slowly, there was a phase when I started losing interest in saying, like, when will this end?
Correct.
And what I did was, I slowly pulled out myself being lazy, sitting at home, watching movies, and not going to the restaurant, and trusting people who are working over there.
Okay.
And like I said, that if I don't go there every day, I will not know how much they are actually following your instructions. But you assume that they are. And even if you know that there is something not going right, at the restaurant the energy is different, people are not happy, there's so many complaints coming in, and you know that all of that is...
You have a sense of it.
Yes, all of that is because I have lost interest. You're aware of it, but still you don't want to do anything at that time because you're done. You're like tired, you're exhausted, you're like, okay, I'm done. I don't think I want to run a restaurant ever again. So that's like a life lesson learned. Again, the whole impression of being a failure comes back into your mind, saying like, okay, I'll call my restaurant also incomplete, the journey also incomplete.
Wow.
And I'll label myself as a failure forever. And then it was in a state that everything was over. It just didn't work. And I left everything and went out on a break to Scotland, London, where my husband was working. I said, I'm closing the restaurant, now I'm free and I can do whatever I want. So this is the decision that
This
happened.
how many years now?
That's about 2 years back.
No. How many years you ran this journey and then came to this phase? 4, 5,
6 years.
6 years. Okay.
6 years, 6.5. I would
Okay.
say. And and I said, okay, done. This was in December that I just left everything. December is our peak month where we do great sales, the Christmas is great, the New Year is great and all of that. But I was just in a space that I'm closing the restaurant. Yes.
Niharika.
And yes, I am a failure, nothing I can complete. And that was something that I thought. And I left. And I was there. As I was there, I was enjoying being in London. There was no doubt about that. But at the same time, there was also a lot of sorrow within me, saying, oh, so much of hard work, so much of attention, so much of focus. And why me? You always, when you don't really get the results that you're expecting, you always question that why me?
Correct.
Even if the whole world is going through the same thing, you don't look at others, but you keep asking yourself, why me? And that question was definitely bothering me. And then obviously I continued doing my meditations. I continued enjoying being in London and the weather and all of that. And then one fine day, while I was there, someone calls me up and asks me that if I would give a franchise. And I said, if you want a franchise, you will have to first find a location and the money that is needed. If you're ready with that, then we can talk and take it forward. So this person went to Jayanagar and found this place and another place, 2 places. And he sent me the pictures and the phone number and all of that. And somehow this space just hit me so much that I was like, I want to start it here. And then I saw all the other, the area and the people and the target audience, all of that. And then I said, okay, I'll be back the next month and we'll see. And I was scared that I might lose that place. So I called the owner and I said, please don't give it to anyone. I'll come, we'll talk and we'll sort out the rent. The rent was very high and everything was very high. It was something that it was zero achievable or zero in my head as plan. And as usual, start from zero. I first went and asked him, and then I decided how much money do I want for the interiors, how much for this, how much for that. Though I was just 2 weeks back was thinking of shutting the business down.
Right,
this somehow changed the entire the energy of my thought process. And then I just sent a message to 4 or 5 customers saying like, if you would like to invest, because until then I was also trying a lot for funding, which I did not get, obviously. So that was also another reason to like say, okay, I don't want money from anyone and I don't want to do anything in life. But then I just sent a message and they all agreed. Money just came in so smoothly. I didn't have to go to any bank and, go through the entire grilling process of the bank to get the loan and all of that. And then it within 3 months, so we closed the space in January, and within 3 months, April, I think May 1st, we started the Jayanagar outlet. And then I thought, I have to be here if I have to give the money back, returns to the investors who have put in so much trust in me and just gave the money. And that was the goodwill that I've earned with the food I served them.
Right.
So I said, okay. And then I was there every day. I was doing everything. The PR was good. Initially, obviously, we also did an art project inside the space that brought a lot of attention. But 1 year, we don't get profits. We were either breaking even or we were running in loss. And then obviously, investors would, start getting bothered. And then that's when I was asked that why is it not making money? And then again I was in the same situation, asking myself, why did I think of, when I decided that I would shut the restaurant and shut the business, why did I take up more on myself? Right. Because this was more commitment and this was more to return and all of that. And then
so Niharika, this whole pattern of one door closing, other door opening, and this whole thing that, what is your belief and experience in terms of, but once the door opens or you have a thought, universe just conspires, right? There is something which just happens, things just fall in place and you're just ready. This is like, you just cannot escape your destiny. What is your reflection on that? Do you see that from that perspective sometime?
Yes, I do. I think nature really takes care of you. I would say that I have so much faith in the nature that I know that even if I don't get food or I don't have anything at all, I know I can start from zero. That confidence is always there.
Right.
And I know I'll be fed wherever I go, whoever I ask,
enough
whether it's in temple or even if I'm probably begging on streets and ask for food, I think I'll get the best. So I will not be, not hungry. I mean, I'll not be hungry, homeless, like that. And that faith I definitely have with nature, and that has definitely, nature has always taken care.
You have that faith grounded in you, and that's what just keeps you going.
Yes.
Okay. I don't know where to even start with from just the thread where we started with, but here you are, again, another reset with this so much of grounding, with the practice of your meditation. Looks like, and this is what I think is the fear which stops people from starting a journeys like this, because that's what I think most of people fear, that how will they manage this? But the way I'm seeing is that until the time you are able to keep your core aspiration intact and you are honest about it, something other will happen. You will kind of make things progress out there, and you'll be able to move out. From where you are, Niharika, what is the next phase of this love?
I don't know. Everything just came to me. I never planned anything. So I always think that there are a lot of things that I want to do.
Just hear about them.
I'm
organically, if I have to really ask, and where you are, what is the large aspiration you have, where you would like to take it?
So eating love, the way it is, I feel it's right now in the right space, and the way it's going, I'm very content, I'm very happy. I mean, I don't want to become the entrepreneur of the year and have 100 outlets in
You
India.
already are entrepreneur of the year. I mean,
Yeah.
anybody hearing this story will just come and give you that award. Okay.
So, for me, I am not looking at 100 outlets. I would take it very easy and slow because there's no end to, I think, making money.
Right.
The other things are also very important. I like innovation. I like the creativity part of my foods. I always enjoy when I make something new, and that thrill is always there when I'm feeding my customers, and I keep that with myself. I don't lose that ever.
Right.
So that keeps me going. And apart from that, if I make extra money, I would definitely looking at opening a school for specifically for kids who come out of the red light areas, women, kids who see their parents going through all of that. They are in great pain. And I've seen them myself in different cities when I was approaching them to meditate and take courses for them, for the prostitutes in Kolkata and a lot more in Chennai and all of that. I worked with a criminal lawyer and also a lot of police officials, and everything was kept a secret. But what I saw were the children there.
They don't deserve this.
No, not at all. I mean, it's not their fault.
Correct.
At all. And I think this is definitely that I want to do. I don't know when or how things will fall in place, where I take care of them entirely, where they learn the skills also, not just the education. They're also kept very...
Make them self-independent, have a stay in the life, basically.
Yes, and also erase their trauma spiritually. Yes, I mean, the spiritual support.
Absolutely.
To give them, and also the entire support of the struggle that they have. Erasing that completely from their lives is something that I look forward for. So that's something.
Absolutely. That's so profound, Niharika, and I'm sure you will make an impact there. I think I'm sure the door will open for you. Looking forward to. Thank you so much for being here. I mean, hearing you, you've proven that sometimes the path to feeding others, I think I would say it starts with learning to nourish yourself, and looks like you have figured that way out eventually, that there is a nourishment which you need to have for yourself in the form of your practice or meditation, keeping you centered, and I think that's the way then you go out to the world. So there's a lot of preparation, internalization which is required before you go out and step and do anything big. I think from pizza perspective, you are really doing great, and I wish you all the very best. And on your other stuff also, I think I'm sure more doors will open for you. So thank you for being here with us today. It was lovely talking to you.
Same. I mean, I also enjoyed. I mean, it was like a complete understanding of my own life. Everything just opened. And thank you very much.
Thank you, Niharika. Thanks.
Okay.
Thank you. Oh my God.
Thank you. That was a lot of content, I think.
Wow. Thank you for watching this video. I totally understand it's not easy to watch a long podcast like this, but I'm pretty sure if you have managed to go through it, you would have had something more deeper to connect with our navigator's story. It takes a lot to build videos like this. We have put in a lot of effort to create this content, to be able to find those navigators and bring their stories to life. As we are just scanning our environment, we're talking to a lot of people. There's a lot of more interesting stuff which is there. I can promise you that we will be lining up a very interesting podcast similar to this today. If you like it, share it out, and if you have any specific feedback, just let us know. We will take a look at it and try to do our best to improve it for the next one. Yeah, once again, thank you very much, and I will see you again in our upcoming podcast.